There's kind of a narrative, and these are me thinking out loud videos, so these are really fresh on my thoughts. But what Jordan Peterson's saying here is way overstated. Now, I appreciate when you look at overall trends and say the church is struggling with this, but it's not struggling as bad as you might think. Partly probably because you're not going down to, well, you live in Toronto. I bet that there are Pentecostal, and Canada doesn't have a lot of big mega churches, but there are places in Canada where you can go where, Paul Anleitner says on a lot of churches, the praise and worship is a sacrament. And he's right. It's the psychedelic of the church. And you can go into a bunch of places where people they've got their hands up, they've got their eyes closed, and they are in a zone, they are in a trance, they are singing their heart out. And you know what? There's no vomiting, and there's no risk of triggering a break in their order, the kinds of risks that you have with chemicals that are not insignificant. Now, I know I am triggering some of you to write the usual comments that Vanderklay needs to be more open to the psychedelics. My point here is that churches all around the world have advanced psychotechnologies to trigger self-transcendence, and a lot of this machinery that John Vervaeke talks about, and how can we know they're doing it, is because people are paying billions of dollars. If you think that the billions of dollars that people pour into religious institutions in North America and all around the world is, well, we can look at the left and say because of their deep commitment to the patriarchy. No, it's or on the, that they are doing this because they are shills of a political thing. No. If they want to give money to the Democratic or Republican parties, they can. Believe me, the Democrats and the Republicans have well-oiled machines to solicit campaign contributions. People give to religions because they care about it, and the psychotechnology that has been worked into them is enormous. Now, we might say, well, overall levels are declining. Yes. The other thing I wanted to say is that many people outside of the church have very little understanding just how much social science goes into religion and the church communities. There are massive studies always underway trying to gauge these things, but actually, if Jordan Peterson wanted to do something fun, he could go into using his social science personality tools into church settings and study them there. He might find that tremendously interesting. Look at T.H. Lerman using her anthropology by going into American evangelical contexts and writing books about them. There's a ton to study there, but he warned, okay, fair enough. Some of you are going to say, I'm cheaply dismissive of psychedelics. I'm not afraid of that criticism. But I think in some ways, Peterson is cheaply dismissive of the massive numbers of people who reliably participate in things that a cognitive scientist like John Vervaeke could call transformative experiences. And churches have actually, in many ways, not without vibrant conversation across the board, have a lot of conversation about how churches deliver these experiences to people. And then the challenge, such as in the Rise and Fall of Mars Hill, is that churches actually live up to the visions and the transformations and the excitement that people get engaged with.